number 17. I want to tell you today about what happened. I talked to my brother today. Yep, the one from the first life that I talked to you about, the sports one. Yeah. Um, and we talked because he's living in Poland as all of my family, and now when I'm in Vancouver, Canada, we kind of talk to each other just to catch up on what's going on. The Christmas just passed, so it was great to talk to them to see what happened and how they spent time together and so on. And interesting thing happened. We just talked completely loosely. Just spend an hour or more just talking to each other. And in the midst of all of this, he said about something that happened lately. He said that his oldest daughter, she's 17 right now. She just came to him and his wife and told him that she was very happy that she's having them and that they have this kind of family. And she said that she loves that they have this understanding that she can come to them, talk to them, and so on. And he was surprised, which is not surprising. But he said that was really really cool, great, really great as a father to see to listen something to hear something like this from your child. And then out of nowhere, he just started talking about his marriage, his family. He's having 3 daughters now, and this year in 2020, he will have his 20th anniversary, believe it or not. And he said that how he's how he loves all of them, and how he is happy being with them, and he said how his marriage is flourishing. And it was so great to listen to it, seeing your older brother being so passionate about all of this. And he said that whenever he's able to talk about it, he's getting pumped. So I told him, listen, you got to do something about it, because try to figure. I asked him, tell me how many of your friends, how many of your guys are in relationship after 20 years with the same person, and even more, how many of them are happy? And he said, man, it's not good. It's rather nasty, because he said even in my church people are getting divorced. So I try to push him to do something about it. I don't know, that write a book or whatever, do something with the things that you're so passionate about. And definitely something that works, something is working, because after 20 years they're happy and they're flourishing. So he had to learn something. And I told him, listen, there will be tons of people who want to listen to your story, just because showing that life example that it's possible to have a happy relationship. That's amazing. But then at the end, he said something that struck me, something that took me on my own thought train. Um, he said, if I would know what I know today, 20 years ago when we were starting, I would be in a completely different place. And when we finish, I start to think about, in context of everything that I'm talking about, the manhood and relationships and all of that. I start to think, what happened? What was the reason that I had the same kind of feeling that I was not taught all of this? And interestingly enough, we had a great childhood. Our parents are together today, and I don't even remember them like arguing. So we had a great childhood. I cannot complain. And I started to think, what was the reason though, that even though I can ask my father everything, he'll tell, and he'll give me his heart. The same thing with my mom. I don't have any concern or any doubts that it would happen. But even though they were happy, they didn't pass that on to us. And I started to think, and I got to conclusion that we're not the only ones. And I talked with many of my friends, especially guys, about this. And I never heard, my father took me every weekend and taught me this or that. Many times though I heard that they were saying, I never told, never, no one told me that. I would never explain how it all supposed to work. And all of them are, many of them are struggling, like most of them. And then I thought, this is crazy, because it just shows that the information is there. Because if you see someone 30, 40 years in being together and happy, they know something. But the problem is that it was not passed to the next generation. And I kind of thought about it, and I get to the point that I think it's the whole process of passing the knowledge failed, because in 50 I don't know years ago, when I talked to my grandparents, or even before, it was more common for older generation to elders to kind of share the knowledge. Now it's not existent for whatever reason. And I kind of thought about it because it changes the perspective on why you're struggling. Because first of all, the knowledge is there. It just, you don't know. You are not taught all of this. So I want you to understand that it's, without blaming anyone really, because it doesn't really matter. I want you to understand that it's not your fault that you don't know it, but you can do something about it. So it's not your fault, but you can do something about it right now. And all of this kind of pushed me towards kind of feeling this need inside to kind of push my own project, because all of those lives that you can watch are basically because I'm getting comfortable with camera and just sharing my thoughts, just spilling it out there, because I hope some of you will just stumble upon these videos and just think that was a great tip. Let me do something about it, and maybe that will kind of help you in all of these subjects, because I know that there's a huge need for this. But second, I'm preparing this the whole project of mine, that it's not going to be so free and kind of loose as this whole lives, but it's going to be very logically combined, because I want to give you understanding whatever I was able to find in my relationship, in my life until today as a guy. Because let's say straight, I don't have every answer to your questions, but I'm on a journey and I spend a lot of time thinking about it. So this whole project, Manhood Explained, it's gonna be, excuse me, I hope it's gonna help you to understand all of that, because the knowledge is there. So I want you to understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what you can do about it, because that's the clue. That's the whole point. And every video that you're gonna get there, it'll end up with exercises and questionnaires. So you'll be able to apply this knowledge, basically right there. It's not live yet, so don't be afraid. I'm not selling you anything. Although I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but try to go to manhoodexplainedproject.com, manhoodexplainedproject.com. And if you're one of the people that want to go deeper, want to go and get this knowledge, at least from someone who has 18 years of experience in marriage and was able to build happy relationship, and someone who spent a lot of years of thinking all of this, maybe there is something for you there. And I'm sure that if you're hungry for this knowledge, you're going to get it. But if you go with me or someone else, doesn't matter. There's at least few guys that I found on the internet that are trying to produce content and try to share their own angle or their own perspective on those matters. Because as we said, it's not your fault that you're struggling right now, but you can do something about it. So find the person that will be able to push you forward and explain this whole thing to you. Because let's say it straight, this is the only way you'll be able to become the man that you always wanted to be, and this is the only way you'll be able to become this person that will exceed the expectations of those who you love and those who need you to become real men. Think about it, and see you tomorrow.